Okay, now we're on question 5. We are given this equation here of a parabola, and 5.1 we are asked to find the gradient of the tangent of the parabola at this point. The gradient of the tangent to this point is actually 3, so we are asked to find the value of a and b. So we are given the gradient, so meaning if you are given the gradient, you know the gradient is f prime x, so it's equals to 3. We are also given a point which is -1 and 7/2, and we're asked to find the value of a and b. So the first thing you can do here is derive the given equation. So you have f of x being equals to -ax squared plus bx plus 6. So derive this, you get -2ax plus b, but we know that this f prime of x is 3, so the gradient is 3, so it's 3 is equals to -2ax plus b. And according to this point, we know x is equals to -1, so you're going to substitute -1 here, so it's going to be 3 equals to -2 into, or -2a into -1 plus b. So you're going to have 3 is equals to 2a plus b. So to write this proper, b is equals to 3 minus 2a. So this would be your equation 1. Then equation 2, we're going to use the original equation, equals to -ax squared plus bx plus 6. Then we use the point that is given of -1 and 7/2. So we substitute 7/2 here, and where we see x we put -1. So 7/2 is equals to -a into -1 squared plus b into -1 plus 6. Cool. So here you're going to 7/2 is equals to, so -1 squared is just going to give you -a minus b plus 6. Then you transpose the 6 to the other side, you will have -5/2 is equals to -a minus b. Then you divide by negative all sides, then you're gonna have 5/2 is equals to a plus b. Then you write it in terms of b is equals to 5/2 minus a. This is your equation 2. So to find what is required, a and b, so let's equate the equation. So you have equation 1 with equation 2. Let me erase this. So now we have two equations we're going to solve. So equation 1 is equals to equation 2. So what is equation 1? B is equals to 3 minus 2a is equals to. Equation 2, it's 5/2 minus a. So you can transpose this 2a to the other side and transpose this 5/2 to the other side. So you have 3 minus 5/2 is equals to 2a minus a. What you'll get is 3 minus 5/2, you're going to get 1/2 equals to 2a minus 1, you're going to get a, so a is equals to 1/2. Then for b, you say b is equals to 5/2 minus a. You're going to use this equation, or you can use this one. Then 5/2 minus our a, which is 1/2, and therefore our b is going to be equals to 2 if you use your calculator. So you've proven that b is equals to 2, a is equals to 1/2. So 5.2, we are asked to find the x-intercept of f. So remember that f of x is equals to -ax squared plus bx minus 6. And we found that a is equals to 1/2, b is equals to 2. So we're going to substitute that. We're going to have -1/2x squared plus 2x minus 6. So this is your equation. This is your equation. So we are asked to find the intercept. So the x-intercept when y is equals to 0. So meaning it's going to be 0 is equals to minus 1 over 2x squared plus 2x minus 6. So you're going to divide by negative half throughout. Then you'll have 0 is equals to x squared minus 4x minus 12. Then you factorize this. It's going to be x, and then you're going to use 6 and 2. So your 6 would be negative and this would be positive. So x is equals to minus 2 or x is equals to 6. So these are your x-intercepts. So now we want 5.3. Calculate the coordinates of the turning point of f. So now we know f being equals to minus half x squared plus 2x plus 6. So to find the turning points, we're going to say x is equals to minus b over 2a, of which minus our b is equals to 2 over 2, our a is equals to half. So our x value of the turning point is going to be equals to 2. Then we substitute the x value in the original equation. So minus half into 2 squared plus 2 into 2 plus 6. So we're gonna get 8. So your turning point is 2 and 8. So now 5.4, we are asked to sketch the graph of f and show clearly the intercepts and the turning point. So if I were to draw this graph, let me find proper space to draw it. To draw the function, this is Cartesian plane. And we have our intercepts. So our x-intercepts we calculated in previous questions. We found x being minus 2, y being 0, and we found x being 6 and 0. So those are the x-intercept and the y-intercepts of the function. When x is 0, we found x being 0 and y being 6, and the turning point we found 2 and 8. Cool. So to start with the turning point, it's 2x, so we're gonna write 2, assume this is 2, and then our 8, assume it's at the top, so this is the point of the turning point, which is 2 and 8. And then we have the y-intercept, which is here at coordinates 0 and 6. And then we have the x-intercept, which is here at coordinate minus 2 and 0. Another x-intercept here, which is at 6 and 0. Then we join the points to find our parabola. So this would be your parabola. Make sure you label every intercept and your turning point. Now we're going to do 5.5. Use the graph to determine the values of x such that f of x is greater than 6. So f of x is greater than 6. So what are the values of x when f of x is greater than 6? So that's what this means. What are the values of x when f of x is greater than 6? So we're going to go to the graph. Go to the graph. So when the equation, when the y value is greater than 6, so this is where that happens. It's here. Sorry for that. So it's here. Just here. Any direction that faces. So it's everything that is in here. It's greater than 6. So f of x is greater than 6 because where f of x is equal to 6, it's at this point. So anything greater, it's anything that I've shaded here. It's greater than 6 from the graph. Cool. So so we are asked to find the values of x when that happens. So you can simply look at some of the critical points between here, between this point and this point here. F of x is greater than 6 because the y value from here, it's just at the top, it's here, it moves to the top, it's greater than 6. So you can simply say when x lies between, because at this point here x is 0 and on the turning point it's 2, so you can simply use this and say this is where f of x is greater than 6. 5.6 sketch the graph of g of x is equals to minus x minus 1. So you're asked to sketch the straight line on the same set of x's and indicate all intercepts. So what you're going to do is you're going to first find the intercept of this graph here. So the equation we are given, g of x is equals to minus x minus 1. So you're gonna erase this. So g of x is equals to minus x minus 1. So to draw this, you have to find intercept. So the x-intercept when y is equals to 0, what do you say? So 0 is equals to minus x minus 1. Transpose the one that side, you have minus x equals to 1, which is therefore equals to minus 1. So the point is minus 1 and 0. And then the y-intercept when x is equals to 0, you have y is equals to minus 0 minus 1. So it's equals to minus 1. So the point 0 minus 1. So these are the points. So let's start with this 0 and minus 1, which we can assume it's here. 0 and minus 1. And minus 1 and 0, you can assume it's here. Minus 1 and 0. So we join the straight line. Looks like this. So now we are asked to find, so it's 5.7. Write down the x or the values of x such that when you multiply the graph of f and the graph of g, they give you a solution that is less than or equal to 0. So we want the values of x when that happens. So I'm going to interpret from the graph that we drew. So this is what's happening. When f of x multiplied by g of x, and we get a solution that is less than or equal to 0. So when the y value of f multiplies the y value of g, it must give you a solution that is negative or equal to 0. That's what this means. So you're going to look where your graph multiplies each other, or where the signs. So if, let's say, for example, you look at this point here. This is your graph of f, right? And the sign at this point, it's for the y values, sorry. The sign at this point for this graph, oh, let me draw it again. Okay, so at this point of the graph, the signs are negative. The y values are negative. Why? Because this is a negative part of y. So the y's are negative at this point. So when you multiply a negative with a negative, you get a positive, right? Negative multiplied by positive, you get a negative. A positive multiplied by a positive, you get a positive. So I'm more interested in negative solution or equals to 0. So here it's negative. If you want to multiply this negative y value with another y value of this part here, if you were to multiply this part, this y value of g of x, of which at this point the y values are positive here. Y values are positive. So if you multiply this positive with this negative, you should get a negative solution, which is what you are looking for. That's why they gave us this. So so where does that happen? It happens at this point when x is minus 2. That's why I'm including everything that is facing that direction. I know it's a bit messy now. So you can simply say when x is less than or equals to 2, this solution of x, that's where your y multiplies with your y. The y of f and the y of g multiply together and gets you a solution that is less than or equals to 0. So this is the first solution of x that is needed there. And then where does that happen again? So we're going to have a look. If you take a look at the graph, let me see here at this point here, the y, it's negative. If you go to the graph of f that correlates with this straight line, the y's are positive at this point. The y's are positive, just correlating with this portion here. So you can simply say this. Another solution can be when x, because x at this point it's 0, when x is greater than 0, greater or equals to 0, or x must be less than this point here, because after this point this graph becomes negative, and we don't want to multiply negative with a negative. So or x must be less than or equals to 6. So this is another solution of x where this happens, right? So you can conclude by saying when x is less than or equals to 2, or when x lies between 0 and 6 inclusive. You can write it like this, or you can write it exactly like what I did here. It's correct. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please write them in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.